We're about to make a classic dish that you've had in an Indian restaurant before. I'm talking about chicken tikka masala. And you know what? There are a lot of companies that sell a blend for the spice that you need to make this dish, but we're not doing it because this is a real cooking show. We are blending our own spices like a painter using primary colors to create secondary and tertiary colors, except if paint were flavor. This dish is delicious and warming from the inside. I know you're gonna love it. Let's make it. Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. Welcome to Struggle Meals. Listen, spices don't last forever. They've got about a year before they lose all their potency and gorgeous color. It's the essential oils. They evaporate into the air no matter how tightly you screw the top on. There's nothing you can do about it.
Sin miedo.
We're building something here. Something important.
Sin miedo.
I'm not gonna let anything change.
So what we want to do ideally is buy spices in the right size container relative to how often we use that spice in the cooking that we do. And we want to steer clear from spices that are pre-blended and pre-mixed. They're too specific. We're not going to use them up in the allotted time frame. From this set of spices, I'm going to make 3 totally different tasting spice blends. That's what I want you to understand. Chicken tikka masala is a very, very popular Indian restaurant dish. It's delicious, it's warming, it's comforting, and at the heart of it, of course, is the spice blend, which we're not buying from a supermarket, but making ourselves. It's gonna be more cost-effective and more flavorful. All right, we're starting off with coriander. This is the grounded seeds of cilantro. Cumin, it's warming. We've got some cinnamon here, warming, sweet, comforting. So here's cardamom. It's very bright and pointy. So cinnamon and cardamom, they might seem a little bit obscure, but I think you should buy them because you can make pies, you can make cookies, you can do all these things at the primary source. But with a pre-mixed blend, I'm not making cookies at a chicken tikka masala blend. Here's turmeric, the famous color in this dish. Here it is. Adding some black pepper. Cloves are really pungent. To me, this reminds me of the winter. I'm going with a little bit of actual heat in the form of some red pepper flakes. So here it is. I've got my tikka masala blend. I made it myself. I didn't spend extra dollars by allowing a corporation to make the blend for me. I know today's all about dried spices, but I'm gonna use some fresh spices too. But I happen to have fresh garlic and fresh ginger. I also really wanna use my new microplane that I got at a garage sale for $1. So here we go. Garlic. Let's grate some fresh ginger too. We're gonna put our freshly made spice blend for our chicken tikka masala right into our garlic and ginger. And I've got some chicken thighs here. We're gonna go with a cup of yogurt. It's gonna break it down and make it soft and fantastic. So there we are. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge and let it marinate. Throw some high smoke point oil. I'm gonna do about half the chicken first so that there's some nice spacing and it doesn't all steam. This is gonna get the initial sear on the chicken, some flavor that we're not gonna get during the stewing, braising process. This is also waking up the spice blend that we made with that super high heat oil hitting it. You cannot skip this step, people. Aromas are fantastic. I am getting some brown pieces, as you can see. So this is not fully cooked, obviously. I'm just resting it on a plate here so I can get the next batch of chicken to wake up. We got some color on our chicken. What we're gonna do now is get all this off the bottom of the pan with some onion. Here goes the onion into the hot pan. Let's get the rest of our spices in there, wake those up. Butter. Let's get a little red pepper. Let's get some tomato paste also. Okay, you can see the tomato paste is beginning to brown. Let's throw in the can of tomatoes. Here we go! Drop the tomatoes! It'll never be as big a hit as Drop the Stock. Here we've got our cilantro stems and all. This is gonna give us brightness. Boom, boom. And let's get our cream in there and allow that to simmer too. All right, that's boiling. I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer and let it reduce. It's time to add our chicken. Chicken going in. All the steps have been completed. All right, I've got some rice here. It's the ultimate relief to all the intense flavor that we've built. And let's get our classic chicken tikka masala right on top of the rice. Oh my goodness. We got this gorgeous red, pink color. We got the white underneath. Why not put some fresh coriander leaves on top? We've got a little bit of cilantro. Cha, cha, cha. I'm taking a bite with my jumbo jet spoon. It's really good. $2.40 a plate for the ultimate Indian restaurant dish, but this one is made at home And it's even more delicious because we put care into it, because we made our own blend with primary spices. And that's what this is all about, making our own spice blend. Want to save money in the kitchen? Keep your pantry organized. Here are my tips. There are a million jars, containers, and bins that you can use. You can even make your own organizers. For food storage, make sure your jar seals tightly and keep track of when you opened it. You know, if you keep similar items together, you'll know how much you have, and it also makes it a lot easier to make sure you use the oldest items first. Your pantry is like a Fortune 500 company. You need to do quarterly inventory. That way you know what you've got on hand. When storing spices, you want to keep them airtight. Obviously, they should be within arm's reach when you're cooking, but heat and sunlight can break them down, so avoid having them right next to the stove or near the dishwasher. Keep your most commonly used items like oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper nearby your cooking zone for easy access. Keeping your pantry organized and up to date, that reduces food waste, and that means you're saving money. The best thing to do on a cold winter's day is crank up the oven and roast a giant pork butt. Much more affordable than pork chops and more delicious. And we get double the savings because we're hanging out inside, filling the house with aroma and heat from the oven. Saving on heat, double savings. Let's cook this bad boy. Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. Welcome to Struggle Meals. We're starting with 4 sprigs of rosemary, the Christmas tree's delicious cousin. That's what this reminds me of. Evergreens, Douglas firs, if you will. Boop. Mayo. You might think, mayo and pork? That's insane. But if you've ever made mayonnaise, you know that it's like 90 to 95% oil. And you put oil on meat before you cook it, don't you? A little bit of mustard, another wonderfully emulsified liquid. Let's add salt right into here. Pepper. What we have here is mostly oil, but because it's so viscous, this rub is gonna stay put on the pork. So just lather it on. Shield your eyes, piggy. I'm just gonna slam it on top and then massage it around. I really like this mayo-like rub because it enables us to have this moist throughout the entire cooking process. I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm putting this in the oven. What are you doing here? Bye-bye, winter blues. Pork butt has been in the oven for about 2.5 hours, and now we're gonna start adding our onions and apples. Adding them at the end keeps them from getting mushy. It's the perfect way to do it. Start with our onion, down the middle, go right here. Got a piece of onion, oh no. All right, Granny Smith apples, they're super duper sturdy, and that is important when you're baking with an apple. Go right in half again. I'm just cutting big pieces here because I want texture to be hearty and whole. Apples and onions, a fantastic combo. In fact, some people say they taste exactly the same if you've got a blindfold and nose plug on. Let's give it a test. All right, let's see what's up here. Okay, I have 2. Here we go, I don't know which one it is. That's an onion. Oh, that's an onion. Let's see if this is an apple or an onion. Did I eat 2 onions? Listen, I definitely ate an onion first. Let's see. That's apple. I can see why people think... Oh boy, it's in there. I can see why people think that they taste the same. There's definitely something happening, but I can tell the difference. Now that we're done with that, it's time to pull the pork out of the oven and get these cooking. Look at that. Moist, delicious, the rosemary's all over. I'm gonna put it all around. Do it quick! The heat is being lost! We got a little bit of oil here. Boop, 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 ba, 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 ba. Mixing it very scientifically. Oh, we lost an apple. Someone will bob for it later. This is going back in the oven for the last 30 minutes, and everything is gonna be done all at once, and we'll have a feast fit for winter. Oh, it just got a lot heavier. Oh, shouldn't have picked it up the long way. Effortless. Glorious aromas and a completed dish. You know, I'm gonna turn the oven off, but leave the door open so that it heats the house for free. The pork is resting, and even though it's wintertime, I think it's important to eat our vegetables. Time for a salad. Got your kale. And it's got these pesky stems. You want to kind of like peel the ends a little bit and then get a loose finger. And you should be able to pull it right out. Peel, peel, loose finger, strip it right down. Let's just chop it up a little bit. Does not have to be beautiful. And now here's the deal with kale. It's the one kind of salad that you can dress way in advance. In fact, it needs to be broken down. So hit it with a little bit of salt and massage it. Like really squish it. This is why the size of the pieces don't matter. Onion. I'm gonna do something called Frenching. You just kind of come in, you get these sort of half moons. And these fall apart beautifully. Orange, wintertime citrus. Cut the end, cut the other end, down the side. Do, 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 do. When you supreme an orange, you're leaving away all that bitterness. You're getting just the sweetness. So you look for the veins and you cut just to the side of it. And then you come this one, you cut just to the side of it. And you get this perfect little sections. Seedless, pithless, perfect nectar of nature. All this, let's squeeze it into here. I mean, let's make use of it. Perfection. But now let's make an actual dressing. Start with some red wine vinegar. Vinegars are very important. Some oil of olive. And for some sweetness, the packet drawer, we've got free flavor there. Honey. Free flavor, sweetness. Hit it with a pinch of salt too. Struggle whisk. Perfectic. Kale is going in. I'm gonna come in with just a little bit of spinach first, a little bit of onion, some orange. They're gonna add a ton of flavor, don't forget that. That looks good, the pork's ready, it's time to serve it up. The ultimate winter medley of vegetables and meats. Perfection. Get some apples, make it happen, and some kale salad. Heck yeah, man. First, let's try the pork. You can see how soft it is. You do not get this from a pork chop. It doesn't happen. Here we go. Absolutely show-stopping. Just because we're struggling doesn't mean we can't have a great meal. This is the definition of that phrase more than any other.